This week's podcast was brought to you by Midwest Supply of Tracy. The holidays are just around the corner, and Midwest Supply has everything you need to check off every one on your list. From clothing, shoes, toys, tools, and everything in between, Midwest Supply is your one-stop shop right here in Tracy. Keep it local this holiday season and complete your list at Midwest Supply, Highway 14, Tracy.
You are listening to another edition of the Headlight Hot Seat podcast. Today we are hitting the stage with Tracy Area High School Play Director Tina Snider. Thank you for joining us, Tina.
Thanks for inviting me.
So let's start with a little brief introduction. Tell us all about who Tina is.
I was raised on a farm outside of Wabasso. Went to Wabasso High School, St. Anne's School first, and then the high school. From there, I went to SDSU, South Dakota State University. There, I majored in journalism and Spanish.
What kind of journalism? I'm curious now.
Photojournalism. I like taking pictures. Did a little bit of writing and that stuff, but I really liked the taking of the pictures and that stuff.
So do I. That's one thing that I love about my job is having a camera. Whenever I'm shooting, unless it's an accident or a fire, that's not that fun. But covering the school and taking photos of kids on stage or on a basketball court, that's really a real part of my job I really love. So directing, when did you get in, like, really heavy into directing?
I was in plays, and then I started working as a stage manager, helping out with Mask, which is the Marshall area staging company. Did a lot of stuff with them. Did my own show, which was kind of an off-season one, kind of for adults and that stuff. Something that they can go and have some fun without the younger group with them. But I like working with kids, and so this is kind of fun for me. The Erin, Miss Dames, she's my sister, so she had told me about the opening, and she thought that I would be a shoo-in and was all excited about me coming over because she loves this town and loves this community, and she loves to advertise it to all her family. So she's like, you have to come over here, Tracy, and help us out, and I think you would be a good fit for the community. And it's been fun learning about the area here because I didn't know much about Tracy. And then getting to know a lot of these young performers.
Kind of runs in the family, the thespianism?
Yes. I would say Erin got it from me.
Oh.
Because
I'm not going to ask who's older because that'd be rude of me.
I am a little bit older than Erin, and we would put on skits at home all the time, and she would be my audience, where she, and no matter what I did, she was always promoting and she was supportive, and I always appreciated that. So, I kind of think that maybe that kind of rubbed off on her. And then when I moved to Fargo, when I got married, I went to Fargo, North Dakota. They have this wonderful summer program for plays and for theater, all kinds of different parts of the theater, and Erin was really interested in it. So I was able to get her in at a good discount because we are part of the community, and she spent the summer with me learning a whole lot about theater, and she taught me a whole lot about theater that I didn't know at the same time. So it was a wonderful experience for both of us.
So as kids, some kids go out in the driveway and shoot hoops. I can picture that. I'm trying to picture you and your sister downstairs or wherever doing these little productions.
We would have it taped all the time. We would do some kind of production, and we have pictures of Erin because there's 11 years difference. So, that's why she was an audience member. So a lot of times I'll be doing some kind of skit that I had created for the video camera, and she would want me to pick her up or something like that. And so you could see her, all sad because her big sister won't pick her up or won't include her. But I kept saying, you're a little young right now. Wait till you get a little bit older and we'll have fun together. So it's been really great that now I'm able to enjoy the actual performing with her and doing a lot of this stuff with her. When she was little, she was unable to.
Well, that takes me right to Willy Wonka this summer.
Yes.
What was that like? Not just going to working with Aaron, and then also just the performance itself. I went. It was phenomenal. It was so fun. Talk about that a little bit. About
Uh, it was sad because I wanted to be on stage. I was a stage manager, so I worked with everyone, and I basically did everything on the set. We didn't have a lot of stage crew, and so I kind of took care of everything. But it was so hard because I wanted to be there every time we had sound check. I would tell them I need a sound check, even though I don't have a mic. If no one was out there. And I would make sure that everybody was able to hear me singing because I'm like, if I don't get an audience, at least all you actors, while you guys are getting ready to go on stage where I really want to be, you guys can hear me on stage at this point singing. And I would sing songs to Aaron. There was a lot of songs when us growing up that mean something to both of us. And so it would be, the song would be, I should say the speaker would be on in the dressing room so they can hear what's on the stage. So I would sing songs or make comments that I know no one would understand, but she would understand. So it was kind of fun to have that little connection. And then of course my nieces would come out and say, okay, I know that had something to do with you and my mom.
kind of ironic, isn't it? That now this summer she was on stage and you were not. Your
Yes.
sister kind of switched roles with you.
Yes, and I was really jealous, but it made me so proud of her. She did such a good job. They all did a good job, but
was great.
it was always good to see your little sister just do such a wonderful job.
Oh, and her daughters too. Were they
Yes,
both in it?
yes, they were. They were both in it, and so were my two girls.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That is really cool. Let's talk about working with kids. I don't know what the age range is. I'm sure from little tykes to seniors in high school.
Yes, and that's actually why they had me stage manage for this last musical, because of the fact there was so many little kids that were interested that they wanted someone who could keep them in line, but yet let them have fun.
They wanted a mom.
There's a line between, you don't want to be too harsh on them where they're not having fun anymore and it becomes a bad experience. So the director said that he thought of me right away, and I really wanted to be on stage, but how can you turn it down when it just seems like it was the perfect fit for me. So all the little ones, even though other people might not knew each one of those names, but I knew every one of those little squirrel names. And they would come and sit by me, and they knew my look. I wouldn't have to say anything. You just have this look like, yep, you need to not do what you're doing. We got to focus. But it was so much fun, and I still run into them every once in a while, and they come running up and to say hi to me and tell me what they're doing. So it's
so
wonderful.
Fun. Those relationships are cool. Aren't they?
Oh, yes, yes.
Is it easier or more difficult working with kids compared to adults?
It's more fun with the little kids in the way just to watch their faces and it's so cute because one of them, I think he was like 5 years old, he would go up there with his script and I would wonder if he can even read it. But he wanted to look like everybody else. And so he would come up there and he would have his book on stage and he would set it down just like everybody else. And I never once told him, you're not really using that. Can you put that away? Because, I need you to be using your hands and focus on what you're doing. It was important to him to fit in with everybody. So it was important for me then too. So it's a lot more fun. Creativity is easier for adults where you just tell them what to do.
I was going to ask about the
and
challenges with kids
yeah.
compared to adults.
Yes, you have to specify everything, and a lot of times I would have to go out and do it. And many a times on their dances, I videotape their dances and send it to them so that they could practice at home, and then I'd be sitting in the audience while they're doing their dance too, so that they had a reference out in the audience area until the actual audience showed up, just so that they would catch on. Where in adults, you don't need to do that. And you don't have to point out every little thing. They kind of know their character, and then they know what that character would actually do or how they would behave in this situation. But you have to point out every little thing for, and hands not if hands go past your waist, you look like you're bored. I don't care what you're doing, but those hands need above your waist.
One of my earlier guests, Sophia Harsh, you know her well.
Yes.
We talked about. I still am. I'm just dumbfounded how people memorize their lines, whether they're 10 years old or 50 years old. Is that tricky with kids? Do they tend to do they need that line? Do they need that help a lot by the time you're actually on stage for a performance?
I find that the kids are more excited, so they tend to learn them faster because they really want to know it. Adults just kind of, yep, I'll get it. Don't worry. I've always gotten it kind of thing. So sometimes with the adults, you could be a little bit nervous, but yet they have it. While, the kids can be acting circles around the adults because they have already, sometimes it feels like they have them done after the second, memorized after the second rehearsal, just because they're just so excited to get involved and be part of it that they don't really need the book anymore anyways.
And that makes it so much fun, too, when there's that genuine excitement from kids. They may not right away know what they're doing or know their lines, but they're so excited to be out there. It's like sports with the little kids.
Yes.
I used to coach little kids, and it's just so fun teaching them the fundamentals, and their eyes are always lit up until they want to go home because they're tired or hungry, but I can relate to that in a way. Let's talk about Cinderella. We have a big musical coming up later this month. Talk me through the process about choosing Cinderella, the musical.
I had so many people wanted Disney, and I chose Cinderella even though this is not Disney, it's close. I wanted to have the option of having a lot of people. So you have the villagers, you have all those extra people. And then you also have the option of not having as many, if not many people audition for it. I like that flexibility because right now it's hard to determine who will show up, who won't, and all that kind of, it's kind of a hit and miss now with the older group. However, we've been focusing on also bringing in the younger group. So I had a lot of 7th graders and 8th graders audition, which was wonderful. And then I also wanted something where I could get the elementary involved, which is really hard because it has to be a fun character. It has to be something that a group can do. So a lot of times when I saw a play, I was like, yeah, I like this. I can't really have I want the elementary in there so bad. Where this one, you have the animals and all that fun stuff. I was able to utilize them in that way. And there's some younger roles. So it makes the teenagers look adult when you have the 4th, 5th, and 6th show up and they're the young little kids. And I think we were at 38 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. I believe that was the number she said. It was just unbelievable how many young people wanted to be part of this. And so I really wanted to make sure it was a play that they're not in for one scene and that's it. Sure. If they want to, I want them to enjoy the experience, to be there as much as possible. So I have them coming in when maybe you wouldn't even see them in, but they're going to be there just because I'm creating the atmosphere for them. There's some other scenes where I'm like, this is going to be a little bit different than, same line, same everything, but the different feeling because of the fact I'm going to bring the little kids into this one too. The ending is like a wedding scene, but we're not going to have a wedding scene because I wanted to have the kids involved in there too. And it's really hard when you have 38 to be able to direct every single one of them. So it's easier if they're just all together and they.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a wonderful problem. It makes me so excited for the future of the theater here department. If there's so many young people, we already from the last musical where we pulled in the elementary and we had repeat people showing up where I remember you when you were just little and that's of now look at you, you're a big 7th grader, a big 8th grader now. So it's wonderful seeing them come back. And I hope cross my fingers that this group will have a great experience too, and that they will want to come back again. And then soon we'll have the problem of just so many people auditioning.
Yep. We need to build a performance center at the high school like they tried to do years ago. And that failed. I think they had a vote, a referendum or something like that. And they wanted to build, I know Marshall's got just a top-notch one over there. Of course, it's a bigger school. But,
Yeah.
that would be nice. Do you think the Cinderella part attracted more kids? Is that, or because you could choose from any number of different musicals or performances. This is Cinderella, geared towards children. Was that, do you think, kind of a driving factor to get kids in?
Yeah, it's fun when it's something that they know.
Yeah.
However, then I had to disappoint them because I'm like, this is not the Disney. They don't go bibbidi bobbidi boo, and any of that kind of stuff.
Then they all quit, right?
Yeah. They're like, what? And I'm like, well, you have to go watch this and see what this is about. This one, the godmother is much greater role. She's she's the beginning and she's the end. She's basically the narrator. And this one has more of a moral. She doesn't just change everything to let Cinderella go to the ball. Cinderella has to figure out that you can't just sit and wish. You have to put some action. You have to put some willpower, some want. You have to like actually work towards it, because otherwise wishes are nothing. They're just wishes. And fairy godmother explains to her when she sits there and wishes and wishes and wishes that that's all junk and that's nothing, means nothing to me. Yep. And so in this one, instead of like Disney where she just shows up and gives her everything she wants, in this one, Cinderella has to figure this out. Before she'll help her out. And then when Cinderella actually figures out that she can make it happen on her own, she doesn't need someone else's help, then the stepmother steps in and says, or the fairy godmother steps in and says, okay, I'll help you now. Now that you just figured it out, that you could do it on your own, I'll give you some help. So it's a really good, in the very end, she tells you the moral, which I really like. I like the story, the lesson in this one, where Disney doesn't really give you a lesson.
Lots of singing, right?
Lots of singing, and none of them are going to be ones you recognize from Disney.
Really? None of them?
None of them. They're all different. Even the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, she does not say that. She makes fun of it, because when Cinderella says, are you sure you're godmother? He goes, what are you looking for, a tutu and a magic wand? That's not me.
That's funny. There's a little sarcasm in there.
Yes, there's a lot of humor in there. The step family is hilarious in this. The Prince and Cinderella song is so beautiful. The main line is, do I love you because you're beautiful, or are you beautiful because I love you? Mm-hmm. And afterwards he figures out that, no, it's because I love you. You're the perfect person. That's why you became beautiful for me, which is so wonderful, and such a good storyline, and such a good way of looking at it. And he's so confused by it, and she's confused by it. And then, the mom and dad kind of ask him the question, and then he's like, no, she was perfect. She's kind, and she's, he went all these things. That's why she's beautiful.
When did rehearsals start?
Rehearsals started probably about, 3 weeks, about 3 weeks after school started. We had auditions, not the first week, but the second week. We wanted to get going right away because it's a musical. And so we have the songs we have to go through. We had a lot of sports to work around, so we did a lot of evening practices or rehearsing, which is fine, because I rather them be able to participate in it. So I know it makes it for a lot of time killer for me, because I get off at work at 3 and I'm just hanging around till 6. Mm-hmm. But I find it worth it if I can get the people that are in sports to be able to enjoy both. That's wonderful. We had a lot of younger volleyball groups, and so they found out that it doesn't matter if you're in sports. We'll figure it out. I'll work around games. We make it happen.
Yep. Well, volleyball's obviously very big here.
Yes.
And it's big Wabasso.
Yes.
I mean, it's always kind of omnipresent. But you covered a lot of nuances to this, but if I'm an audience member, I'm going to this. What can I expect? Do I laugh? Do I, walk away with the moral? Do I catch on to that? Take me as an audience member through what I can expect when I go to this.
There is a lot of funny. There is a lot of jokes and that stuff. The stepsisters, I say the step family is hilarious. And I tell them just enjoy that role. Just if you're enjoying it, they'll enjoy it. It's kind of hard to get the timing when you have the comedy to actually get it to come across. And I know like the King and the Queen, there's a lot of comedy in there, but it's things she says. For example, she's like, "Well, he doesn't want the ball to go on." He goes, "Well, it's hard to get it. How hard to get things stopped when you get the ball rolling." And she starts laughing, which it's a funny joke, but I'm like, those are really hard. And unfortunately, when you have to be royalty and you're putting little quips in there, you really got to hit those punchlines so that they get it. Where the step family, it's not just what they're saying, but how they're acting that you're automatically. But there's a lot of humor. It's really, really funny. But there is that moral in there too. So it depends on what scene you're looking at to catch the morals of what's going on. So they have both of them.
Have you noticed the kids responding to and learning about that timing and the punchlines? Because if it's a joke, so to speak, you want them to portray that in a funny way, as not a comedian really, but just as a really good actor. And I would think that the kids really enjoy. Yeah, I know some of these kids like Sophia and Cohen. They get a kick out of being kind of sarcastic. Have you noticed that that has come out in them?
Some of them.
Okay.
I have like Graceland. She's the stepmom, and she comes across really quiet.
She is.
She's
I
very
know her.
quiet. Oh, yes.
She did some interning for us this summer, and
Yes.
I never knew she was in the building. She's
She's so quiet. And I told her, you need to be larger than life. I go, I actually played that person when I was back in the day when I was Cinderella. In Cinderella, I played the stepmother. It was my favorite role. I go, you just need to be larger than life, and you just need to love it, and just, and it's just so funny watching her, and so fun. She's just blossoming. It's just, and there's so many other characters that are exactly like that, where they're so quiet normally, and I'm like, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to find it funny. You just gotta go out there and just let it all go. Just enjoy yourself, and if you're having fun, the audience is having fun. If you're nervous and that stuff, then they're going to feel nervous too. So
They'll pick up on that.
yes, they pick up on how you feel, and she's doing so well. I can't wait for you guys to see the family. The step family is just, they're coming together. They're just funny, and the other characters are so wonderful too. It's just I keep saying wonderful. It must be the word of the.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful life.
It's a wonderful life.
Yeah, it's funny the differences between people like Sophia and Graceland. I think we need Sophia to rub off a little bit more on Graceland. And hopefully that's happening because they're best friends.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think, this is the yin and the yang right there. Those two, they don't strike me as people who are best friends, but they keep telling me they are, and it's just weird.
Yes. But
do you talk a lot about nerves with the kids? Whether they're first timers or veterans, do you worry about that at all? Like, okay, you don't want to pound it into them, like, don't be nervous, because maybe that will make them nervous. How do you deal with that? Like, if you notice, if you can sense a kid maybe a little, withdrawn because they're a little scared or nervous?
a lot of them, I tell them, I'm going through these scenes over and over again. It might seem redundant. It might seem boring and might seem like really long practice. But then when you get on the stage and you're in front of the audience, you will thank me when you are able to do it without being, not having to think very hard on what you're doing. And then I also tell them I'm right behind stage. I'm there to help you out. If you need anything, if I need to whisper out a line and then when we get closer, another thing you'll find with, especially ones that have been in there for a while, is they're able to help out someone else. If they forgot their line, they're not worried about waiting for that exact line to continue on. They know that the line was forgotten. Just move on, and just the audience doesn't know. Yep. They have no idea. The only way they'll know is if you just stop. Just go with the flow, and that's something we work on. The week before is when I'm not out there and saying, "Hey, just got to figure it out." If you forget, how are you going to remember it? Use some certain cues. I tell them, I go, sometimes the way I act helps me remember my lines because I walk over here and act like this. Well, that my line has something to do with me walking over there and acting like this. So use way you're acting to help you memorize the lines and memorize what's next and things like that. But I just keep telling them, don't worry, I'm here for you. And they don't know. They have no idea. Unless you tell them you messed up, the audience will have not a clue you messed up.
Let's put in a plug. Tell us about the performance dates. They're coming up in pretty soon.
Yes. So we're going to, it'll be the 14th, Friday. I believe that's the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Friday and Saturday, it's at 7 p.m. And then 2 p.m. performance on Sunday. And Thursday, the kids are going to get to come. The elementary will be coming.
Little preview.
Yes. They're all excited, and I really like it when they come and support their classmates because they have the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade there. It's very important for their friends and other classmates to come and see what they're doing. As they might not been able to make it with their family, and this way they can see it, and then maybe it will entice them when they get older. That may be something they want to do. And Cinderella's a fun one. I just hope they don't get too disappointed when they show up like, wait a minute, this is not Disney. Well, they're being told it's not Disney, so just realize it. I mean, Haley asked me, she plays the Cinderella. She's like, so do I have to wear a yellow wig? And I'm like, why would I cover that beautiful hair you have? That is just crazy. This is not Disney Cinderella. And I always wanted to have black hair. So there's no way if someone has beautiful black hair like Haley does, I would cover it up. So I'm like, no, this is not Disney. We're not having to dress up like them. This is our own thing, our own performance. So the kids might find it a little strange when Cinderella doesn't look like Cinderella, doesn't wear the dress of Cinderella, but I know they'll enjoy it because the storyline is still there and the fun characters are still there.
Speaking of dresses, where's the costumes coming from?
Oh, yes. South Dakota, what am I talking about that? In Marshall, the University of Marshall, they borrowed us their dress. So she is literally going to change from rags to the gown on stage while she's twirling. I am so excited about that. And Sheila over there at the university is...
Sheila Tobacco, right?
Yes. Oh, she was so nice to let us go and just pick this out and to be able to transform on stage. All the kids are all excited about it. And then Marshall Area Theater did staging company. They did borrow us some staging pieces and that stuff. And then a gentleman that I work with, Stephen from Marshall, he was helping me do set work. I kind of went a little bit more than I normally would do so the set is going to be gorgeous. Wendy in the 8th grade class, oh my gosh, the art class is wonderful. You need to go just to come and see the artwork that they did. Oh, it's beautiful. I just can't believe what Wendy was able to accomplish and what she was able to get done. So the set is going to be a little bit more up notch than we normally have here, and I really wanted to. And I went to the community and found places to get things donated that we could borrow so that I'm not having to start from scratch, and lumber and that stuff can be kind of pricey. So we're going with the borrowing from people, and the community theaters have just been wonderful.
Well, I want to talk about the transformational dress, but we're not going to give any away secrets, right?
No. But it will transform when she's on stage. She will twirl. She'll be wearing rags, and as she's twirling, the dress will become. I mean, literally, it's a brown, ragged, green dress into this beautiful white with flowered dress that she's going to be wearing right on stage.
And we can say whereabout during the play is that.
It's exactly where Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo would be. She's going to change a pumpkin, and we're going to have a beautiful carriage. We're making this beautiful carriage. We'll have horses and all that kind of stuff come out. So it's going to be a really, really wonderful transformation. And I'm just excited for everybody to see the dress actually change. I know the dress. I've seen it before. So
And it works.
it works.
Seen it in
Yes.
action.
Yes. And me and Sheila went and we put it together, making sure it still went together right so that it would do the transformation and it looked good. So I'm excited about it.
I think that alone is worth the price of admission. which
Oh,
is
yes.
How much?
Gosh,
Or don't
I'll
we
have to
know that yet?
look on the. I have to look on the
It's
program I
not-
gave you.
Let's just say it's not very much. I mean,
No, it's not very
worth
much.
A few bucks. It's
I think it's the
definitely
same
worth-
as going to a sports game.
Yeah, it's definitely worth supporting these young actors.
Yep.
For sure. Tina, you are off the hot seat. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
This week's podcast is brought to you by Midwest Supply of Tracy. The holidays are just around the corner, and Midwest Supply has everything you need to check off everyone on your list. From clothing, shoes, toys, tools, and everything in between, Midwest Supply is your one-stop shop right here in Tracy. Keep it local this holiday season and complete your list at Midwest Supply, Highway 14, Tracy.